All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Another Sunday, another episode of the Always Chillin' Podcast. Skinny D and the same man in the barbershop. It's Father's Day. So special treat. We got Damon's youngest child.
Got my bear cub, my
in
youngest.
the studio with us. So he might
baby.
he might chime in every once in a while, which we're actively encouraging. But,
Yeah, if we wrong, let us know.
He won't be on
blood.
camera, but you might hear him. He's been I've been having like a existential crisis a little bit.
What's up, dog?
Over here. It's just like, I don't know. It's stuff's so different. You know, we got fucked up about MP3 players earlier. I think it's just because he's so much younger.
Yeah, because
He's 16. So you're half my age.
Yeah. Half your
Yeah,
age, right?
Yeah.
Feel that.
Yeah.
Soak in that for me.
Yeah. So I've been alive twice as long as this, as
Soak
this other
on
whole
that for a minute,
as this
dog.
other whole human being that's bigger that's bigger than me. So I'm fucked up about that. Yeah, like, I don't know. Were you around for MP3 players, or is that while you were gone? Did you have an MP3 player? I was talking about the first MP3 player.
I was in prison. I was in prison when I remember hearing about MP3 players.
And you were like, "What's this future?"
By the
This is
time
crazy
I
future
got,
stuff.
they call it it's you got county work release and you got state work release. Well, I was in state work release, and I got my first MP3 player. And then I remember it being as slim as my belt,
Okay.
and it's just as wide as a belt,
Mhm.
right? And I had a guy sneak it to me when I was on. No, they called it work detail. Like there was work release where you could go to a regular job, like in McDonald's or something, and there was work detail where maybe you were just a little too violent for like the community, so to say. So I had work detail, and then my girlfriend, then I had her like sneak me in the latest shit. Like when I went into prison, it was like a whole CD player. Like everything was clear. Like I said in an earlier episode, your headphones, your fucking CD player, everything was clear, right? So when I went in, it was still CDs. Like you were still able to order CDs, even in prison, off of it was called music by mail.
Mhm.
Sound familiar?
Well, it's kind of like we had this thing in school. It was kind of similar. And, I mean,
Okay.
you probably never had anything like this. You got like a flyer in the mail, and you could you checked which CDs. You wanted, and then you sent it in, and then they mailed you back the CDs.
Right. For you, it may be like pennies, like you could pay a penny, like or something.
Yeah,
one of those
something weird
fucking
like that,
deals,
yeah.
right? Well, they had it in prison too. So you could order
CDs
it.
seem like you could snap them and make something out of
Exactly,
them. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Even the CD case. That's
Right.
a whole other story. I actually made a knife
why is that
out of
allowed?
a CD case.
Why is that allowed?
You know what I'm saying? Like you get the whole fucking CD case and everything. You just
So you could just get CDs mailed in,
yeah.
and then they would just hand them to you.
Yeah. You would go.
They're like, you can't have shoelaces, but you can have this sharp.
Like they
thing.
had these
Were
whole
CDs made out of plastic?
yeah.
Uh,
Hard plastic. Like they
Yeah.
had these whole forms. You go to the catalog. And the thing about these catalogs, bro, like say like a rapper like Cuckoo Cow, right? You knew of one album that he came out with because maybe he had a video or something that you saw frequently.
Mhm.
But in the music by mail, maybe Cuckoo Cow had already had like 5 albums. And you only knew to have one.
That's
So
pretty
you
cool.
could order all 5 of those albums. This is how music by mail, like Wu-Tang, like you only knew of 36 Chambers, but there was like 3 albums before.
There's 35 other ones.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how music by mail was in the penitentiary. So you could order all those CDs at a time, and you got the whole CD case. And maybe
That's
you wanted to
crazy
make
to- that's
maybe you
crazy
wanted
to
to
me.
make a knife out of it.
That's crazy to me that they just gave it to you.
Maybe
They're like, this is probably gonna be fine.
I'm not a Wu-Tang fan at all, but it seems like a good knife. It seems like I could shave this off a little bit.
I remember when they stopped, when laptops stopped having CD. I don't even know it's CD trays on the side,
Was it?
and I was like, how am I supposed to put my CDs in there? And I'm like, what am I gonna do?
I don't even remember that. See, yeah, I was gone for that.
Yeah, did you even have to mess with CDs at all? Really?
When I was younger, I had like a DVD player in my room, but I like broke it because I tried
Yeah.
to put 4 movies in at the same time. It was like all
Yeah,
superhero
kids will do
movies.
that,
And I thought like all the superheroes were gonna collab if I put all their movies in.
He's gonna make
You were thinking.
It's gonna
you
be
were,
a
you were
Avengers
thinking.
Endgame.
I ain't mad at you for thinking.
Yeah,
I see the logic
that's
in that.
creativity.
Superman, Spider-Man.
Yeah, so DVDs, yeah, not so much.
So you were on the ass end of DVDs
Yeah.
CDs and shit.
at 16 years
Man, I
old.
think about that. It's just like it took up so much room. You think about like all the DVDs you used to have in your house or whatever. You used to have just like
Well, the case
like
alone,
you used to have to have a whole shelf in your living room that was
just
just
for the case
to put DVDs on.
Yeah. Then you had the 5-disc changer, the 6-disc changer.
Yeah, see, and that's what was fucking me up earlier. It's like now I could, well, my phone's recording, but I could pull up my phone and be like, I want to watch Shrek 2,
right now.
and like immediately. It's
Specific scene.
Yeah.
Right now.
crazy.
Where a DVD.
Like everything's instantly on demand, man. Did you see the new Apple headset thing?
Yeah,
That shit
What you
kinda,
think?
It kind of fucked me up a little bit.
Where you at with this?
I feel like it's kind of stupid. Well,
Really?
I don't feel like it's stupid. I just feel like the price is stupid. I'm not paying
Yeah.
$3,000 for that.
3 racks? It's
Yeah,
called
well, yeah, it's 3,500
for the headset?
Yeah, but it's
And the-
crazy.
That's
It made me
crazy.
feel weird watching it. It felt like a Black Mirror episode.
Ooh.
Because it's so, like, I don't know, something about it just feels different. Like, this is a different thing than I've ever seen before.
Well,
Probably. When the lady, like, looked at her Mac, she put these things on and looked at her MacBook, and then she, like, pulled the MacBook screen off and made it huge all in front of her and shit, and she's sitting there working on it. Like, I don't know. I've never seen anything
And
like
like I saw this one TikTok, and it was some dude, and he's like, as soon as I get this Apple headset, I'm gonna like, you can literally like be at like a concert, like on stage, and he's like, I'm gonna do a Kid Rock's walkout at Woodstock.
that. Yeah, like NBA games, you can be sitting courtside. and
you're
all
on the
that
court.
shit.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I have, like, the Oculus, like,
Yeah.
I don't know where they're at with those 2, 3,
Mhm.
4 series or whatever, but I have, like, the original, and that one's still freaky.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
My
Like-
friend has one, and he has this game called NFL VR, and it's so fun. You're literally, it's like Madden, so it has like all the rosters and stuff, but you're the
Right.
quarterback, and you can throw it, you can run it.
That's pretty cool.
It's a fucking world, dog, and if you're, like, it's very easy to get lost in that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a world, man. Like, if you're like that deep into that shit, like,
Have you watched Black Mirror? The episode where Anthony
no,
Mackie
I haven't. Everybody,
where
yes,
Anthony
my boy,
Mackie
yeah, my
starts
boy,
having-
and that's
starts
why
having
you're
gay
like,
sex with his friend in VR.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They start playing this VR game together, and one of them's a chick in VR, and then in virtual reality they start fucking, and then they're like, well, maybe we like each other, so they meet up in real life, and they're like, maybe we should kiss, and then they're like, well, we're not gay.
And how old is this movie?
Black Mirror, like a few years old.
A few years old.
Yeah, they're like, well, I guess we're not gay, but then every year they make a deal with their wives where like once a year they're allowed to go into this virtual reality thing and fuck.
Well,
It's like a few years in the future, and virtual reality is like, it's like you're there, like you can feel everything and stuff.
right. Well, I go back to the movie. What was it? Sylvester Stallone and Sandra Bullock. What was that?
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
I
You
don't
remember
what you're
that
talking-
scene?
My
You
grandma
remember-
had that. She used to have this. Speaking of like furniture for your DVDs, she used to in her bedroom. She used to have these shelves where she had like it had. I mean, it had to have been hundreds of VHS tapes, and she had them all alphabetized. She was serious about it.
Right.
Yeah, and she had like every movie that I could ever possibly think. It was like Netflix. I would walk in
Old
there like
Yeller.
yeah, like I'd walk in there like I'd walk in there like I was browsing Netflix. I'd just be like, I want to watch this one, and I'd grab it and I'd go watch it and put it back. You know. But yeah, I used to watch Demolition Man a lot. Yeah, when they put on the like virtual reality thing, and then she's like, I want to have sex, and he's like,
Right.
oh.
You know
He's
what I'm
like,
saying?
Hell yeah,
And he goes in,
he's
and
like,
she's
"I
like,
do
no, that ain't how we do it.
Yeah, she's like, no, we don't touch each other.
We don't touch each other. What was it, illegal to exchange bodily fluids or some shit?
Yeah, see, so stuff like that, I don't know. It just feels like stuff like that's less science fiction-y now. You know, it's weird.
It's like it's all come to fruition.
I just want to make a real lightsaber, man.
That's it.
How about that?
But chop your ass in half with a light.
Yeah, this shit's dangerous, but I want it someday, man,
Someday.
someday.
I feel like we're coming up on that soon.
Yeah, I don't-
Chop you in half with one light.
I don't know what we're gonna talk about today. We don't. Yeah, we don't script it, and we don't even plan what we're gonna talk about.
We don't.
But it is Father's Day. What's being a dad like?
Let me first.
Take a drink of water and think about it.
Yeah, let me take another drink of water. First, being a dad. Well, first of all, Father's Day. This is my baby bear cub right here. I call him Sugar Bear because he looks like Super Golden Crisp Bear on the cereal box.
Is that Super Golden Crisp Bear even
Can't
around?
get enough for Super. No, do they?
I don't know. You know what that is?
Hell no.
See,
You ain't never heard of Super
about.
Golden Crisp, dog?
You're
Can't
over-
get enough for Super Golden Crisp.
No. Cereal?
You're pretty good.
Yeah,
at
it was
that.
a cereal.
Nah, I never seen that.
Yeah, see, you're over here.
Super Golden. He was like the coolest fucking
You're over here.
cereal bear.
You're over here calling him Sugar Bear. You don't even know what you're
You
talking
don't
about.
even know who Sugar Bear is, huh?
You have to YouTube that.
Like when you had your dreads and like you
back.
would get them braiding and shit.
Yeah.
They're like bear ears and shit. Actually, your grandma started calling you Sugar Bear, but I took it and ran with it. But being a dad, man, I've been a dad for. How old is my oldest fucker? I think he's 30. He's getting ready to be 31.
Really?
Yeah, he's still mad at me right now.
Have we ever? Did we realize that ever? Did we talk about that? I'm only a year older than your
Yeah.
your
No, I don't
oldest
think we
kid.
ever talked about that.
Okay.
No.
I think we have.
Yeah, we
I
probably
think we have. I think we
Yeah.
talked about you're old enough to
Yeah.
be my dad.
But my oldest fucker is 31. He's still upset with me. So, whatever. But being a dad for me has always been dope.
Mm.
It's always been dope. It's always been an excuse for me to do stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
To run around with them
Yeah,
when I
see
had
what you
nothing
mean. I
else
see what you
better to
mean,
do. Yeah, I mean, if I didn't have the money, I damn sure had the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whatever the fuck you want to do. If you want to fucking shoot windows out, throw fucking rocks through windows, I'm down with it, dog, because I'm that type of dude. I'm only 17 years older than my oldest son,
Yeah,
so
so you
it
let
was
him be
like, we were not only were we father and son, but a lot of the time we were probably more brother, big brother and little brother than father and son, just because of our age gap. You know
Yeah,
what
that
But-
makes sense.
But at the same time, like I always tried to, like my dad, Ralph McWilliams, man, I lost my dad he was an early age, but I always felt like I had every experience. Like he tried to teach me and show me, I don't feel, even though I lost him at an early age, that I don't feel robbed. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause he showed me this, and this, and after that, it's up to you. So I felt like he showed me and I try to emulate that in so many ways. My kids, my sons, I had 6 sons total. This being my youngest son, my 6th born son. I always try to lay that. I always trying to lay that game on him. My oldest sons be like, "Oh, you always trying to lecture us. You always lecturing us." Where my baby boy, like, he's so
gotta
upset.
take it in, bro.
You gotta take that. You know what I mean? And it's crazy where what I mean. This is the bear cub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where he's like, so it's always been. I've always been able to move on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whatever they say, whatever or whatnot. I've always tried to do my best. Never abused any of my kids. Never been an alcoholic. Never abused any of them. You know what I mean? But I've always had that word. Do I not? I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna put that fat on your head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you make your decision, and whatever your decision is, I'm gonna roll with you 110. That's just it. That's what fatherhood is to me. It's not so much as just telling you, like, you got to do this. You got to do it like this. You got to do it like that. If you don't do it, it ain't, nah, man. Hey, man. Whatever you want to do, we going to do that. You fuck up, you got to fuck up good, okay? Don't just fuck up. You got to fuck up good, all right?
Yeah.
So when we get this right, everything's polished. You know what I mean? To the point where everybody forgets about that fuck up. Fatherhood to me, it was never hard. I never looked at it
Never?
like, nah. Even as a young father, I was just like, let's do this shit. Try my best.
Yeah.
When
all
I
you can do,
could, with the
man.
best I had,
Yeah.
you know, and it was always fun to me until those times came, you know what I mean? You know, but by the time, especially a male, by the time he's 14, 15, 16 years old, he's already made his decision on what he's going to do anyway. So you just kind of guide him along his way after that.
Sure.
I guess I can say, I never took, and so a lot of people used to look at me like I was crazy when I said this. I never took fatherhood seriously, but I took it seriously.
I see what you're saying.
It's kind of, you know what I mean? I mean, I listen to the same music as you do. I probably dress flyer than you do. You know?
Cap.
Huh?
That's cap.
All right. That's what they call cap today. But definitely keeps me on my toes, you know what I mean? And that's just the thing, you know. It's fun to me. It was always fun to me. I never, even as a young father, I never looked at like, oh my God, my life is over. You know, having a son at a young age was like,
It did feel different though.
it was definitely different because I was still in high school.
Right.
I was a senior in high school, going to school, dropping my oldest son, off at daycare, going to school. And then I remember trying out for the varsity basketball team junior year, where I had to hurry up and run to go to get my son from daycare, bring him back to the school, had the cheerleaders, you know what I mean, look after my boy while I'm in the layup line. Real story, real spill. You know, he'll probably tell you different, but you know what I mean. But yeah, that was true shit right there.
Was that pretty sudden for you? Like for the kid's mom, it probably wasn't very sudden. But for you, is it like stuff was pretty normal one day, and then the next day, all of a sudden, you had a kid, and then like it was different right then? Like the day before you had a kid, you were like going to class normal, probably. You know what I mean? Like probably like it was probably on your mind. I'm sure. Like I'm about to have a kid or whatever, but you were still doing all the normal stuff.
Yeah, I even
Probably,
remember
right?
it was summertime.
It had to.
It was summertime when we found out. So
Yeah.
summertime, 16.
What was that like? We're gonna get deep. What was that? What was it like? So she tells you, let's go all the way to her telling you, like, hey, I'm pregnant.
16 years
I
old.
took 40 tests and I'm pregnant. What was that like? Is it gonna be weird to hear your dad talk about this?
It's all the same. It's a natural
Nah, he's
human
probably heard it
construct.
before.
Let's get into it, man.
16, man. I was 16.
Yeah.
There's so much that happened. I mean, cause
Yeah. So she called you like, hey, come over real quick, and
I might
you're
have.
like, I don't know why. Like, how'd she get you to a spot where she wanted to tell you? Did she tell you like over the phone? Was it in person?
I think it was definitely over the phone.
Ouch. That's a bomb.
She might have told me, "Hey, meet me somewhere." If I'm gonna try to go back, she might have said, "Hey, meet me somewhere. I got something to tell you," type shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not. None of this needs to be ironclad. We don't-
And
I doubt they listen.
But
to the
I
show.
remember where, yeah, I'm gonna give it to you. I was 16. Summertime, I remember, and I'm wild like a motherfucker. I'm for the streets.
Yeah.
Like I'm in them streets.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the streets. I might have killed your ass when I was 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in them streets. Blase blah tell me she's pregnant, and maybe 6 months after that, I'm charged with murder.
Oh yeah, you talked about that.
So I'm 16.
That's when all that went down.
Charged with murder in the attention center when my son is born. So while my son is being born, I'm in attention center lockup facing a murder charge. So the first time I ever had held my firstborn son, I was being charged for murder at that time. So maybe it was 6 months later after that, some shit, shit happened here and there. Get out. I'm out. I'm 17 now. And I try to get back into school, you know what I mean? The whole fucking thing. But like I said, I'm going to school senior year with a kid, dropping him off at fucking daycare and going to high school.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, they had to cut my seventh period off because I had to go get my son from fucking daycare. But at the same time, I'm still trying to play basketball and all that old shit.
17-year-old shit.
Yeah, man. So that was that little from 16 to 18 year span, man, being, and I also had another son that I didn't know about at the time. So by the time I'm a senior in high school, I'm already a father twice. One I knew about, one I didn't.
Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to rewind all the way back. So she tells you I'm pregnant, and you're immediately like, your first reaction is like, okay, this is happening.
We're going to do this. Because, in the black community, abortion wasn't a word.
Sure.
It just wasn't a thing. Like, you about to do this.
Yeah.
I knew girls that were.
Why is that?
12.
Is that religious, you think?
Nah, not religious at all. It's not no, we're about to have this baby.
Yeah, somebody's going to take care of that baby.
Somebody going to take care of this baby, whether it be grandma, great-grandma, uncle, auntie, sister, brother. Somebody's going to take care of this baby. Okay. So abortion, that was never a thing in the black community.
So she tells you, you're like, all right, let's do this. What was telling your parents like? You just like drop it on them at dinner?
I will definitely tell you this. It was definitely it was definitely easier telling my parents than her parents.
Oh yeah, I want to know about that too. Yeah.
Her.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
You're sitting down like, yes, she's pregnant.
Like, yeah.
Okay, let's start with that. I guess. We'll get back to your parents. What was that like?
My mom and them was.
Whose idea was it for you to be
Hey, matter of fact, I'm glad you asked me that question, right? My dad, man, this motherfucker being the stand-up motherfucker he is, right? Like, growing up, my one thing was, like, taking out the garbage. Yeah. I had all sisters, what I mean? So my thing was, like, keep my room clean, take out the garbage, mow the lawn, that type shit, boy shit, right? Yeah. So he was like, well, this thing like taking out the garbage. You can't forget to take out the goddamn garbage after this. I remember him saying that shit like, you can't forget to take out the garbage on this shit. My mom was standing on the porch crying, like trying not to cry.
Oh, no.
My dad, like, he was real anal about his grass. Like, you step on his grass, my dad might put a couple in your ass. That type shit. Like, his grass was like a goddamn carpet, right? Yeah. And I remember coming home. I don't think I was coming home from school, but I remember coming home. And like the U-Haul, like the little hitch trailer, hitch trailer, he had it parked across the grass. And I was like, this motherfucker ready for me to go? He was like, you gotta get the fuck up out of here. You got your own family now, man. You gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta get the fuck up out of here, right? So, long story short, I move out, you know what I mean, son.
So he really made you move out?
Yeah, he was like, you gotta get the fuck up out of here, dog.
Like when the kid was born, or
man,
before?
It may have been like, let's say it was Monday. I told my parents, yo, she's pregnant, we having a baby. That fucking Friday, my dad had the U-Haul. Like, hey,
you're 17.
I was 17.
Point? Are you even allowed to get it?
Still in high school.
Like, you're not even allowed to get your own
place. I don't know. I didn't know that then.
You can't get a lease, man. Like, where'd you go?
We had an apartment, man. What? I don't know what kind of strings they pulled, but I was going to fucking school senior year out of my own apartment.
No way.
Dropping my son off at fucking daycare.
No, because my mom, she had her own apartment at 16 when she was working full time.
Well, back in my day, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I bet there's like a program or something.
There's probably a program today, but back in my day,
were you
like,
in a program?
No, there was no program. You was in fucking.
There is a program like, both of your parents have to sign. You have to sign. You can just buy a crib, live there, like early.
Yeah, your dad probably did all the paperwork. I bet.
Maybe he did, and I didn't know.
It sounds like he probably did.
Maybe he did.
Sounds like your dad went to wherever
I
you
remember
go to
turning
do
the
that.
fucking corner, and that U-Haul hitch was parked across his precious shag fucking carpet grass.
And you knew it was real.
And he was, hey, we gotta have this back by such and such and such.
You just loaded up your room.
And my mom was on the porch like trying to keep her cool and shit. You know, I'm the only boy, you know what I'm saying? She's like, baby, you just gonna be down the street on 33rd and we on 34th. My dad like, hey,
so
man.
they knew you were going already.
Yeah, my mom knew all that shit.
So
It
they
was
got
all,
so they got you a place.
now that I think about it, you know what I mean? You just fucking me up with this shit. Like,
Okay.
maybe he had the paperwork and all that shit.
Dude,
you
I'm
know what
like,
saying?
I'm like, they just kicked you out, and then an apartment just gave you.
Once I
like, how
told
does that-
my parents she's pregnant, my dad was like, "Oh, hey, he got to go."
Did she tell her parents first?
Yeah,
Like,
that shit was
before-
Easy. Yeah, that was
that
like,
was easy.
It was like the easiest fucking thing in the world. Like black parents, dog, you don't want to do that. You wouldn't do that. White parents just like, okay, we're gonna check our resources. We're gonna, you know what I'm saying? And this and that. Black parents like, look here, motherfucker. It's real deal now. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's more of a baby mama thing, but like me, I was never able to just drop my kids off at my mom's and say, I'm gonna go do something. No. You take that motherfucker with you. Take that motherfucker with you. Like I wasn't able to never ever just drop my kids off at my mom's house just on GP. It had to be something major. Like I was gonna get some stitches, maybe, you know what I'm saying, like an amputation or something, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't none of that shit. So shit, basketball court. If I wanted to meet girls or something, yeah, my son was right there with me, man.
Yeah. That probably helped though a little bit.
It probably helped. It did. Probably help. Like back in the day.
So
But-
did she get kicked out too? Like, were you guys both in that apartment?
Yeah. We talking 90s. Where it was
I mean, that's an interesting solution, I guess.
and you don't like,
She could have got triple pregnant.
you know what I'm saying? And that be that. But but like I said, I had another, you know, that I didn't know about. You know, I was a busy man when I was a
Yeah.
teenager, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had on the whole
So they're like the same age,
yeah.
pretty much. How close are they?
I don't dog, that's crazy you asked me that shit. I don't know how I did this, but my oldest son
I think we talked about
is exactly
that. You know how you did it.
I know how I did it.
You know.
My
how you
oldest
did it.
son is December 27th, and my next son is January 21st. So do your math.
It's not even.
So
a
they're
month.
even the same age for.
It's not even a month, man.
I don't know how I did it.
You know how you
I
know,
know how I
exactly-
did it,
you
but I
know
don't know how I
exactly
did
you
it. Like I was like, for real, me? Yeah, but that happened.
So when did you find out about that one? How old was the kid when you found out about it?
The second one,
Yeah.
I was already locked up and charged for murder by the
Yeah.
time I found
And
out.
and what was that like? Because the first kid, it's like, okay, I'm gonna have a kid. You maybe you can prepare for it, but then the second one, it was like, you have to this one already exists, and he's like, how old at that point? Or she, was it a boy or a girl?
Well, see, the crazy thing about that was she was in prison as well.
The baby mama?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why it took so long to.
Yeah, that's why it took so long.
I see.
Yeah, man, my life. Yeah, crazy.
So you had
life.
no idea she was.
I had
pregnant
no
at all
idea
before
that she was even in prison at the time.
What'd she go to prison for?
I don't remember.
mean,
at-
you don't
I
got-
don't
I guess
remember
you
at the
don't got-
time, but I remember she was in prison. I was fucking locked up, and I remember getting a picture of a fucking child, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's how it happened? You just got in the mail?
Yeah. Like, what the fuck is this, man?
Just a picture of a kid. Like, this is yours.
Yeah, this is yours.
Shit.
I'm like, man, what the fuck? I've been in here. So that's how that happened. So even before I even turned 18, I'm too deep in already. I'm too deep in already. I just said this shit the other day, like, you're the sixth born. I had 4 sons.
Yeah.
Okay. And I had 4 sons for the longest, where I was like, that's it.
That's pretty cool.
I'm
4 sons.
good.
I can
And
see
then
how
it
that'd
was
be nice
like-
to say, like, yeah, I have 4 sons. That's a good.
It was like the
Time
next
stop.
day I had 4 more. Like, what the fuck? Nah. It was like the next day I informed her like
Damn,
that.
dude.
Like, god damn, man.
Was there a point where you like stopped getting surprised? You know, like when a girl would call you and be like, "Hey, I gotta talk to you," you just be like, "Fuck."
That would probably
Like, at what point were you like, "I'm pretty fertile," you know? Like this is potent.
that would probably have to be my man's right here.
That's when you're like, "I'm not surprised."
I mean, cause he's little big brother. Like he's bigger than all these motherfuckers, and he's the baby. So I would probably have to say my man, whereas I'm just like shit. If I look at a
Oh, this is
motherfucker,
happening.
I'm gonna get her pregnant. I can't even look at it. If I look at her, I'm gonna get her pregnant type shit. Like I believed that shit for a while. My dad used to tell me that shit. You look at a bitch, you gonna get her pregnant. I'm like, well, shit. I'm gonna have to wear sunglasses at night.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. Life's different now.
It is.
Look at you now, man.
Look at me now, man.
Damn, that's crazy.
Look at me now. I got grandbabies now and shit.
Yeah, dude, living it up. That's wild.
Life is grand. Just had my grandson here from San Antonio.
Yeah.
A little white boy Mexican.
Yeah.
That's got to be the most handsome. And I'm not just saying that's because it's my grandson, but it's got to be the most
a little
handsomest baby I've ever seen
Yeah,
in
it's
my
cute,
life.
baby.
But I will say my son over here you were a handsome guy, man, when you were born. You
Yeah.
came out looking like a man.
Still am.
You look like you were when you were born.
My nephew we got hanging out at our places. He's a pretty cute baby too.
Yeah. How's that going for you, man?
Good, man. Yeah, he's easy.
He's running around by now, right?
Yeah. He's getting in some shit. We had to childproof all the like
Yeah.
cupboards and shit. Now.
That's when shit gets real.
Yeah, we're like, he's opening a cupboard and I'm like, there's knives in there.
That's when there's chemicals in there.
Yeah,
Get that little
like,
motherfucker.
we should probably figure this out. Probably should have figured it out a long time ago. Yeah, and I think it's lulling me into a false sense of security because he's easy, man. So I'm like,
he's
like
he's
I think being a dad sounds cool, you know, like
because he's cool.
yeah.
Not because you're cool, but
Right.
because he's cool.
Yeah, well, I'm
okay,
cool. I'm
don't you
cool,
gotta
too.
you gotta
No,
you
I'm
gotta
cool,
watch
too.
out for that.
I'm cool too. You should see him. Like,
Okay.
When I
All
get
right.
home, man, my wife says I open the garage and he's like,
What's up? Where that motherfucker at?
he's like, where is he?
Okay.
Yeah, so he likes me.
That's all vibe
I'm
right
cool, too.
there.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all
vibe.
vibe.
It's
More
vibe.
than it is that they
Yeah.
recognize you, it's the vibe. They may smell you before they see you.
Yeah, I think I have.
They may feel you before they see you.
I think
but
I got
they
a good,
know you're
good
there.
presence for him. Yeah, I think being a dad would be cool. I'd like to be a dad a lot.
I think
Sometimes I'm on the fence about it. Honestly, I see the advantages of not having kids.
Okay.
Because like in August, me and my wife are going to California for like a week, and we're going to Disneyland. And like if we had a kid, it's not an option.
Okay.
Because I can afford to take 2 people to California and Disneyland, but I cannot
But
afford
three.
to take 3.
Especially being a
Well,
kid
well,
who they
especially-
cater to.
Especially if I have to pay for this kid the rest of the time too. It's expensive. Like my Disney budget's gone.
Can't hit the express line.
Yeah, I've never been to Disney, so I'm glad we're gonna go before we have any kids. 'Cause
I think you'd be a dope
we both
dad,
want to- I
though.
think so, too.
I think you'd be a dope dad.
I think so too.
I think you'd be a dope dad.
I think so because my dad was cool and
And that's what it's about.
like I would just try to be a dad that's exactly like my dad.
That's what it's about. You dig what I'm saying?
Like, I think he did a good job, man. I'm productive.
I feel my pop did a damn good
Yeah.
job. I feel like I had every experience that a boy should have had
Yeah,
with his,
I'm a
I
good
mean,
person.
and not to say your parents were bad parents, but it's about getting, you just want to be a little bit better.
Sure, yeah,
You
I think
just
that's
wanna
fine.
be not just a little bit better.
Well, yeah, because you can skip a little bit of the stuff that didn't
you
work.
know what I'm saying? The trials and tribulations of it all. You know what I'm saying? You
Well,
just-
my dad was like, he was like 17.
they were young.
Yeah. So he didn't know what looking
Didn't
looking
know-
at it now, like I'm in my 30s now, thinking about a
A
17-year-old.
little more established than your pops was at this time.
Yeah,
in
it's
his
like I would
age.
I would understand making a mistake or two.
Exactly.
When you have no idea what you're doing, man.
You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like when people say we're planning for this pregnancy, and I always thought like, can you really plan for something like that? As much as you plan, can you really plan? 'Cause most people I know, when that happens, it's never when you expect it.
Yeah.
It's never when you expect it. That's
Mhm.
when it's like, oh shit. crunch time now. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you get the true essence.
It's exciting, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's when you get the true essence of that shit.
Yeah.
Like we're planning for a pregnancy. Like, you can play it all you want, but that shit's gonna come when you're like, you can have $3 million in the bank. You can have whatever the fuck. But when that time comes, you're like, because that's the way it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You never say, oh yeah, we're gonna have a baby. We're gonna conceive on August 5th and have it. You know what I mean? What's the
Sure.
excitement in that shit when you're able to call it like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems cool.
Even at a teenage parent, I never looked at it like it was hard. Of course, there was probably some times, you know what I mean, but I never looked like it was more fun to me.
Yeah.
It was an excuse for me to stoop down to their level.
Well, it's like you had to do it.
And go do their shit.
Like your choice is gone already.
The choice is gone.
Not doing it is not an option.
It's not an option. If they want to do this shit, you got to go do this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Even him today. You know what I mean? I still, I know I got to cater to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got to pay attention to what even especially in 2023, being 16 years old. In today's time, I couldn't. And I'm here for you, bro, as much as I can possibly be. I know these times are hard, even more than when I was 16 in 1994, man. Shit's...
It's weird. Now, like, everybody always has access to you.
Social media.
Yeah, like, even when I was a kid, it's like, you get out of school, you go home, and, like, it's all over for the day. Like, even if you had a really bad day that day, it was all over. Like, you're at home.
Even you could shut it down in your time.
Yeah, like, you're at home. Like, nobody is still, like, it stopped as soon as school was over, and then it was done. But now it's like, you're getting text messages or people Snapchatting you. You get turned into a meme or some weird shit.
Snapchat is Snapchat full of still a thing?
Yeah.
It is?
It's like the main app I use to text people.
So we got Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, probably some other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Reddit.
Yeah.
Reddit. I think we looked up, what was it? In college sports, we looked up the top nil earner, and I always thought it would be a basketball player or a football player. I think it was a gymnast, a little blonde gymnast chick from Alabama.
Yeah.
LSU,
where the whole point of the story is she has to post every 39 seconds.
Yeah, some weird shit.
Every 39 seconds. Imagine that. How many 39 seconds
Well, I mean, she
have
probably
we
don't even
been
do it.
here?
She hired
She probably,
somebody
yeah. I mean,
she hired somebody that, like, schedules
being
it
the
all
top
out, and
nil deal earner in college sports, yeah, you got somebody
Yeah.
doing that for you. But every 39 seconds, how many 39 seconds have we been here where you gotta?
Shit. A couple.
You play Madden?
Yeah.
Have you ever even played an NCAA college game?
I've played like 14, but not
Yeah.
like in the year it came out. Maybe
Right.
like 2 years after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like are kids your age excited that it's coming back?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Really?
excited.
Really?
Yeah, I bet they are,
Yeah.
dude. That's
'Cause
crazy.
Nowadays, bro, every kid like my age, we like college football like more than the NFL.
Mhm.
At least that's how I feel.
Because the last one was what?
Used to be the shit.
14. You
14,
were
I was
2014. That was
6.
6.
10
Yeah.
years ago. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, that was the shit.
That's crazy to think about. NCAA 14 was 10 years ago.
I still got it. I still got that Madden
That shit's worth money,
25-year
man.
edition, and
Madden
I still
25 was the
have
first ever Madden I played.
to where you can
Something you can do.
draft your players. Yeah, I still got
Yeah.
those. I just rearranged them. this
NCAA 14
morning.
is worth some cash, man.
It is,
For real.
man. I'm trying to hold the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hold
Nah,
out.
don't sell it. Yeah. People should be excited about it. It's way better.
But even you guys
It's
are
way more
excited about that.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm so excited.
That's interesting.
I'm
That was a
so
great
excited.
fucking
I'm
question,
so
bro. I would have
excited.
never thought to ask that because they were all 5 and 6 years old.
Well, see,
then.
yeah, see, I'm curious about it because, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like they'd be like, what's the difference between that and Madden or whatever? But it was different.
There was always a difference.
It was different, man.
There was
NCAA
always a
was
difference.
Way different than Madden.
Way
It's
different.
Mm-hmm.
Juke from the juke move
I'm kind of worried they're just gonna make it Madden now.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be upset because I'm waiting on that.
They're changing Madden too. Like they're changing like all the animations. Like the Patrick Mahomes like diving throw where he did a dive and they threw that. So
That shit's so overhyped, man. Wasn't that an incomplete pass?
It was an incomplete pass.
Are people done with Patrick Mahomes even in the offseason?
Nah.
You don't think?
You know who people are done with is Patrick Mahomes' wife and his brother.
Okay,
That's who.
Are they
done with.
killing it for him?
Yeah,
Is that
big
it?
time.
Yeah, his
All right.
wife's so
Okay.
annoying.
Yeah, big time.
Okay.
People hate his wife and people really hate his
Because
brothers.
I
like,
think even
brother just
KC
got
people
indicted.
are
yeah, his brother's going down for sexual assault.
getting and his brother's confusing. He's so confusing to me.
He
That's so
talks like a gay
confusing.
person, act like a gay person. There's nothing wrong with being gay, but like he does all these things to lead me to think that he's gay, but he's not.
Well, first of all, let's go back to his high school basketball fucking highlights.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, no,
Oh, Jackson Mahomes.
little brother. Let's go back to that. Gay, straight, whatever, black, white. Let's go back to his high school. Have y'all seen his high school basketball highlights?
Nah, ain't he like 6'6" though?
This motherfucker
big.
should be in the NBA, man. I always tell people it's always the baby brother. You know, like some of our greatest they're all Michael Jordan, baby brother, Magic Johnson, baby brother, like Blake Griffin, baby brother. You know, because they always had to sit on the sideline, get their ass kicked, fucking watch and listen their whole lives. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes' brother, and I'm gonna put it out there. If anybody's never seen this kid's high school highlights, go back and watch his high school basketball highlights, and you'll wonder why Patrick Mahomes is the famous one. I promise you.
Patrick Mahomes is. I mean, he's something.
I ain't taking nothing from him.
He's an electric football player.
Maybe it's just
That dude
because
makes
Texas
plays.
Tech, we didn't see.
He puts the team on his.
We
back.
didn't see Texas Tech play. Maybe that's
That's
where
true.
I'm fucked up.
Yeah. Well, I haven't either, but I mean, just with the Chiefs, man, like that dude balls.
Balled out. I mean, don't get me wrong. The dude's
Yeah, like
a baller.
He leaves it all out there.
Leaves it all out on the field, but
Yeah, I'm just tired of. I'm not even tired of Patrick Mahomes. I'm tired of everything always being about Patrick Mahomes. You know,
Yeah,
like
Okay,
you'll go on,
okay.
like ESPN and like all of it's just like Patrick Mahomes.
yeah, and I feel like I don't know Patrick Mahomes personally, but he seems like the kind of person that he's probably tired of it.
Yeah.
even
Like-
when he had a bad game, well, in a
like
17-7 loss, 385 yards and 2 touchdowns,
Yeah,
but they
I mean,
fucking lost.
He tweaked his ankle in that game in the postseason last year, and they were like,
And that was all. They
the
were
entire game. The
zooming in
announcers-
on his fucking ankle.
yeah, the announcers are talking about Patrick Mahomes' ankle the whole game, and they're showing like slow mos of his ankle bending, and like, oh, it looks pretty good. Like, shut
Well,
up, man. I don't care.
I'm
There's
a LeBron
500
fan.
other people involved in this.
I'm a diehard Lakers fan. I like to say, I just joked the other day, Michael Jordan interrupted my Laker fandom. You know, I was a Laker fan in the early '80s.
Oh, actually, we talked about something at work, and we Googled it. I have a question for. Who do you think? What team do you think? We talked about this because do you see that Michael Jordan was selling his share of the Hornets?
Yep.
For $3 billion.
Yep.
And I was like, what makes the Hornets even
Because it's fucking
worth
Okay,
$3
go
billion?
ahead.
So which teams do you think? I guess which team? We'll start with which team do you think has the biggest like value? The
Lakers.
biggest value out of any team?
Lakers because it's LA.
It's the Golden State Warriors.
It's gotta be the Lakers or the Celtics.
It's the Golden State Warriors.
Okay. Are we're talking.
This is like here.
We're talking just.
I'll pull
We're
it up.
talking just like venue, like.
No, hold on. I'll pull it up. I'll tell you
It's
what
like a
all's in.
venue than the Knicks.
I'll tell you what all's included in the.
New York's in there. If you want, like,
I'll tell
I'm
you.
gonna
I'll
go
tell you what all's
L.A.,
in- what all's
Miami,
included
New
in the,
York, Golden State.
I mean, the number one is Golden State. I'm telling you.
As far as like venue or
That's like everything combined.
everything combined. Ooh,
Yeah,
Ooh, okay. That's a different ball game there.
it's the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, regionally, yeah. Everything it has to offer up in that area.
I wish I can't find the list that I was looking at before, but so Golden State Warriors is number one. They're valued at $7 billion.
Okay,
It's
we're gonna
it's
go that
everything
route.
included.
Okay.
And this is why it's kind of
And
surprised
even
me.
historically,
This is what surprised me is I would think like if you just wanted to talk about brand, like brand recognition, like people wearing your shit, whatever. Would you think that the Golden State Warriors would have a bigger brand than the Chicago Bulls? Like,
No.
but they do, man, by like billions.
In
I
like
guess.
the
And
past, what?
because it.
10,
But I
12?
kind of want to bring this up now because I think it's
Okay.
because
Ask him
guess-
that.
I
Ask
guess
him
I
that.
could see it, but not more than like I just like I was born in this generation. Everything is just like Warriors, but I feel like back then, what y'all be telling me about like Michael Jordan stuff, I feel
Yeah,
like
see.
it wouldn't be like that.
like when I was a kid, it was like even if you didn't like basketball, you had a Bulls jersey, or when you played NBA Jam, you played as the Bulls,
Mm.
or like NBA 2K, like way back in the day, like you played as the Bulls. Like everybody I knew wanted like if you were playing a basketball game with somebody else, if you like it was a race to see who got to the Bulls first.
Shit, on 2K23 they got a whole Michael Jordan mode.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, but I think it's
yeah,
because
that
it,
says it
like
all
I
right
think it's because
there.
of Steph Curry.
Definitely.
I think Steph Curry has a lot to do with that.
Okay.
But I guess people just don't give a fuck about the Bulls anymore, man. Derrick Rose blew it.
You can
You remember how excited everybody was about
you
that?
can say that. You can say that. Derrick Rose, you give Derrick Rose 2
I'm just
more
kidding.
inches
I'm
from
just kidding,
6'4". You know him, dog. You just touched a soft spot,
I'm
and
just
I'm
kidding,
gonna
man.
give it to
Just
you.
kidding.
You get 6'4". Derrick Rose is 6'4".
Yeah.
You give him 2 more inches. He never has those injuries.
I'm just kidding. I don't actually.
I think the
I don't
guy
actually
was
think he
just.
blew it.
Some guys are just too powerful for their stature.
Yeah. I just remember how excited everybody was about it.
Because
Like
he
it
was,
was gonna,
that guy.
it was gonna change everything. I know he was, and like
Oh my god.
but that's kind of my point exactly right now. Is the only reason I know about Derrick Rose is because he was supposed to be the next big thing for the Bulls.
Yeah.
Like the only reason I know about Derrick Rose is because I was still like semi paying attention to the Bulls. Like I don't even like basketball at all, but the Bulls have always kind of just.
and that was
So when I saw stuff like
mid 2000s for you.
yeah, so like the Warriors, the Knicks, the Lakers, the Celtics, they all have bigger brand value than the Bulls do right now.
Oh, most definitely.
Which is, I mean, that's crazy to me because
Well, I mean,
to me it's like I don't know, but it's a different era.
Golden
It's
State
a different era now.
for a lot of people that may not know. I'm sure you know on the West Coast is San Francisco.
Yeah.
So I mean, just geographically, what that brings.
Like I pay so little attention to the NBA that I didn't even I didn't even know Golden State Warriors were a team until recently. Like I thought it was like a new team,
no. Well,
but I don't fuck with basketball.
even in my day in the '90s, they were the Golden State Warriors, but they were the San Francisco Warriors. Back in the day. But it's like if we want to go like just venue, I would say probably Miami because it's Miami, then LA. New York, you said the Knicks. You got to put the Knicks on there. Those are probably the top 3 venues where it wouldn't matter. Well, probably today, guys, it matters to guys today where the reputation didn't matter. You're playing in Madison Square Garden. You're playing in the United Center. You're playing in the Forum. And these were all old. The Forum, the Lakers played in the Forum. The United Center, Mike built that. The Madison Square Garden.
Oh, okay. Here it is.
You just know these gyms.
Yeah, so the Golden State Warriors brand is valued at $1 billion.
Mm.
The Chicago Bulls brand is valued at about $500 million.
So we're gonna
So
say half.
Yeah, it's half, man. It just seems like
For Mike to not have played in 30 years.
I mean, do people even give a fuck about Michael Jordan anymore? Really?
Y'all fuck with
Not
Mike?
really.
Yeah.
We all
see?
think LeBron's better.
Yeah.
What? Really?
It's recency bias, though.
Why do y'all think LeBron is better than Mike?
The reason I think LeBron is better is Michael Jordan played against plumbers, bro.
No, he didn't.
Oh God, he did, bro. Put him against today, bro. He could play against like the worst team in the NBA. I won't say he'll like get shut out, but I don't think he would do like as good as he would have back then. Put him against like the Hornets, I feel like LaMelo would crack him.
Okay. I'm gonna throw my OG status in here. Even up until when Kobe last played, defenses were so spread out because of the 3-point shot. By the time I was in 7th grade, the 3-point line was only 10 years old. Think about that.
Yeah, it was like made the same year
It was
Vince
only,
Carter was born.
3-point line came out in '79. I was in 7th grade in '89. You shoot a shot from out there, your season's over, coach. But you buried on the bench. We don't practice that. Where you sharpen your iron is breaking a mother. Do y'all play 21? You hear the game 21? Y'all still play 21?
Yeah.
How do y'all play 21?
Shit. We just shoot for ball, and then we just be grabbing rebounds, and then we that's it. First person to get to 21 out of all of us.
21, and back in my day, you get in there, you fight for that rebound. You have to take it out to the top of the key.
Yeah.
There's no shooting on the inside of the top of the key, right? Y'all still do that?
Yeah.
Well, when you get to the top of the key, somebody's going to come out and check you. You break him down off the dribble. Next motherfucker up, break him out off the dribble. Next motherfucker up, break him down. You break everybody down off of the dribble until you get to the rack. You spend so much time waiting out there on a 3-point line, somebody's going to figure you out. All we got to do is, we ain't even got to face guard you. I can back guard you and make sure you don't get the ball. And as long as I know you ain't got no moves to the cup, your game's over. That's why Golden State lost, because Clay ain't got no bag. He's just sitting out there waiting for a shot. Where Michael Jordan, dick in your motherfucking face every time. And that's what we used to say. We monkey nuts. That's what I used to say. Monkey nuts, because I'm trying to put my nut hairs on your mustache. That's what we used to say in the 90s. I'm trying to put my nut hairs on your mustache. That means I'm up there and my nuts is in your face. Where I'm not gonna spend the whole game sitting there waiting to shoot a 3.
Nuts in your face. It's more of like a football term now, though.
Okay.
Like if
damn, really?
If you're a defensive end, if you hit that quarterback, nigga, put your nuts in his face.
Nuts in his face. It didn't went to football, huh? I like it. I like it.
Okay.
I like it. Okay.
Cool.
Evolution's a
Nuts
motherfucker.
in your face. That's what.
From basketball to football.
That's where we'll end it, man. We'll end it right at
All right.
nuts in your face. Thanks for listening. That was pretty fun, man.
Monkey nuts.
Should have you on more often.
Monkey nuts is still around.
Fun. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter, mostly TikTok a little bit. We've been slacking. I tell you every week we've been slacking.
Yeah,
We're gonna keep slacking.
Players fuck up too, man.
Yeah, like my job pays me. This doesn't.
We players, dog.
That's what it is.
We players.
You get it. I feel like we deliver a quality product.
Real player gonna play.
So yeah. Anyway, check us out on social media. Subscribe, like, follow, review. Tell your friends. Whatever you do on the app that you do, they all have different little buttons to click and stuff. But videos are on YouTube and Spotify. Audio is pretty much on every single other podcasting app. Hope you guys had a great Father's Day. If you're a dad, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you again, man. And hope you guys have a great week.
Holla.